came here 4 years in a row, and this is the first time that I have purchased parking. That's a clock, so I can align my audio later. I have that audio and then that audio. So, I'm Patrick Crossman. Nice to see you guys. And today I'm going to talk about some stuff that you guys may not think you're capable of doing. It's going to be a pretty short talk. I'm going to talk a little bit about me and what I actually do for work right now and how I do it, and a little bit of Java stuff. And then I'm going to actually talk about like applications and like ideas and like what makes something good. And then at the end I'm going to ask you guys if you could I'm going to ask you a question like, if you could create anything, what would you create? And also there'll be a little workshop, but it's going to be mostly me just messing around, asking you guys questions. So if you want to view the images from left to right, 2 years ago, or not 3 years ago, 4 years ago now, I busted my arm pretty badly. I was rollerblading and trying something silly. I essentially exploded my elbow. I was on like a quarter pipe, sort of like a spine. I went upside down and just like went for like a hand plant 3. Essentially.
Help me, and then apps that can just play just for fun to relax after.
Yeah. So what game?
Well, like Total Tower Defense.
Yeah.
King of Thieves.
Yeah. Cool. Between the 7 of you guys, 6? No. Oh my God, how can I not count? 6? Between the 6 of you, you would be able to build fascinating software. Like, if you guys actually banded together and took a plan and attempted to build something massive over like a 3-month period or like a month period or even a weekend, like solid, it's incredible what people can do when you actually band together. You just have to like smash your brains together and so yeah. All right. Anybody know what a minimum viable product is? Have you ever heard that term? It's what the fancy corporate folks use. It's the fancy term for basically the simplest thing that your software could be. As you can see there, Mario, we got our character. We've got some stuff that's going to try and kill our character. And then we've got, some stuff that's going to get our character some life or money. So, does anybody see between the two of those, is there anything I'm missing that I haven't that I haven't represented with like a simple graphic on the right? Huh? Yeah? Clouds? Okay, yeah. I guess. Huh? Yeah. Yeah. I did not put that platforming. Yeah, you.
Time and the score.
Yes, time and score. UI elements. Yes. Technically, I was hoping you'd guess that. So the thing about it is that like you can often make your software like your minimum viable product often doesn't include fancy interface elements and all that stuff. Your minimum viable product is whatever your game or your piece of software is. It's, can I get a guy to move across the screen, and will he die if something hits him? Like, that's Mario. Okay, then add one more feature. Make him jump. Okay, can he jump over the thing that's supposed to kill him? Yeah. And then you can take like a database app or any kind of like simple. You can take one of your phone apps, and I'm sure it starts out pretty simple, and it doesn't have background, doesn't have any fancy graphics, and then it just develops into something that looks really nice. So, the trick is to not get hung up on trying to make this before you get to this. That's the whole point. Now, to get from ideas on a piece of paper to game in your hand or software that's useful to someone, it all starts with requirements. So let's say that you guys are in English and you have to write an essay. You guys have to write any, yeah, let's say, how about this? Let's say you got to write a story, okay? The story, it's got to be 3 pages long, or 1,000 words, or something like that. It's got to be about a character going on an adventure, and at the end someone has to step and poo. So I just laid out 4 requirements for that story, and each of you guys could come up with your own version of that story, and I guarantee none of you would have the same story, but all of you would end up making somebody step and poo at the end. So that's the thing about requirements is that you state exactly what something needs to do, and as long as that gets done by your software, you can check it off and you move forward. So to satisfy your requirements, or to even get them, you have to start asking things about your software, because when someone started thinking about Mario, they thought about okay, well, yeah, I want to be able to make a guy run around, and then it's like, well, what would make that fun? Make him jump over stuff. Okay, well, who's gonna be playing this? Kids. Okay, no murder, just people happily dying. No complete goriness, right? That's that was a requirement that they had to satisfy when making that game. It had to have it had to look a certain way. Now let's go really simple here, and let's think about Pong, as if we're the innovators at Atari in 1901 or whenever that game was made, and I really want to bounce a ball back and forth like tennis. Yeah, that would be great. Okay. Let's think about what we do if we were playing tennis. Well, I can't think about tennis. I'm too old. My back hurts. I don't know. So we've got paddles, we got ball, we got an environment. There's the containing element of our environment. What else? Am I missing anything in my requirements? No? Anybody? Yeah, collisions. That is a very valid consideration. And you? Yeah, UI elements as well. Yeah. So, both of you. Yeah. Once you get your main, the thing about software is you guys probably have figured out already, inheritance structures and everything like that, is starting out as generic as possible, and then moving in specific, getting more specific as you go. So, first now we know we need a paddle, and then we start to ask some questions. It's okay, well, we have an environment or whatever, but how big is the environment? How big is our paddle in comparison to this environment? And what happens when the paddle goes to goes past the environment level? Does it leave? Does it stay there? Is it allowed to go past? And same with the ball, right? Collisions. What happens when the ball hits here and here and here? So those are the answers to those questions are your requirements, and that's as you guys move forward with developing more complicated software, you'll start to be able to spot them, and just start thinking about them now. When you open up your phone and you're looking at a simple app that it's just something just to try thinking about how Facebook works, or any of that stuff. Okay. Yeah. Like I said, you just keep asking questions and then making them smaller and smaller and smaller until, more and more refined and specific. So that's the end of my speech. Do you guys have any questions for me about that stuff? No? Okay. Well, what I did before was last time I forgot to actually change this. I don't want to do this again. If you guys want, you can turn your monitors on and play this game, but I don't really. I'm going to change up the. We're not going to do we're not going to do the, we're not going to actually build your own Pong. But what we are going to do is, I'm going to, I guess I'm going to pull up Photoshop maybe and like some notes. And, oh right, I can't actually type things. Let's see how am I going to do this. Sorry? Oh, yeah. Yeah, sure, I'll do that. Yeah. I got it. Yeah. But yeah, like, what I want to do is, I want to talk, like, about how if you were to make Pong, like, where you would start. Because we can get a lot done with, like, pencil and paper before we even, we can get a lot done with pencil and paper before we even actually like start any kind of programming or game engine kind of stuff. So I'm gonna open up just Notepad for now, and let's start thinking. This is usually where I start with most things. What is like? Let's think about if we were gonna put a phone. We were gonna put together a game to make Pong on your phone. Let's say that. We don't have to worry too much about, like, we're going to use a game engine eventually in this hypothetical universe that we're making a game, but let's start thinking about how we'd actually put it together. So, like I said, you'd have your environment. Oh yeah, you can see that. So you have an environment. How big is the environment of your game? If it's on your phone, how big? Do you guys know how big a phone is? Like pixels? Hey? Okay. Yeah, 1080. Okay. By 720? That makes sense. Okay. Now, that is, I wonder how much area that gives us. Can someone, do you guys have, you don't have a, you guys can actually turn your, you can turn your computers on if you promise to help me with this thing we're going to do for the next 10 minutes. Okay. 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 So, I'm going to calculate how big our how big this environment would be first. So 720, 1080. 1080. What are you doing, calculator?
It's 1080 by
1080
1920.
by 19. Oh my God! Can someone do that math for me?
It's number lock. Okay, the keyboard number lock.
Thank you. 1080 times by 1920. Ugh. 17,600?
2,073,600.
Yeah. Okay, good. Good. Okay. Pixels. Okay, 1080 by 1920. So, that's how big of a stage we have to work with. Now, now let's think about our actual paddle. All right. So I'm gonna go back to this guy. Yeah, that's both the same image. Okay. So let's think about this guy. It's, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm gonna say it's 1/10 the height of our thing. So a good place to start would be paddle. How the height is going to be 108. Okay. Now, how many pixels would you guys say that would be? What do you think is a good number? We got 108. I don't know. It's like maybe we say like let's say like you think it's let's say 8. Sure. That's probably just a good place to start, right? Height. So width. It's gonna be 8. Cool. Now, let's think about our ball. The ball seems to be like twice the width. Yeah, the ball seems to be 8 makes sense. Or I mean, the ball seems to be half. It looks like we could fit 2 of them in between, 2 of that in side by side in that paddle. So let's say ball. I'm gonna say it's 4 by 4. Yeah. This is it. Ball. Width. It is a square here. Width. Oh, whatever. Remember, guys, copy and copy and paste when you can. 4 and 4. All right. So I would probably now let's think more. Let's think further into it. We've got our paddle, we've got our ball, and we've got our environment. Let's see here. What is it, let's see here. The next thing that so the thing that you said was collisions. Now, let's think about like, even just almost like a condition, right? Like, yeah. Okay, go ahead. If you have a sentence, it can be even like almost an if sort of, yeah?
So if the ball overlaps the paddle, then it like bounces back up.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, that makes sense.
It's equal in the other direction.
So, let's think about that then. What does that imply? If the 2 of them meet, that, oh yeah, you have your hand up.
If the ball hits the paddle,
Yeah.
then you take like if we have a linear equation
Yeah.
for the ball moving,
Uh-huh.
then we reverse one of the variables.
Sure. Yeah, that makes sense. How do we know where the ball is?
Because the variables are the location.
All we have is width and height right now. How do we know where the ball is? Okay, so now we got it. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to. I'm trying to. That's a picture of my girlfriend. Okay, so now we got to think about this. Our paddle and ball, they both have X position, and they both have Y position. Same with ball, or same with and yeah, they would also have They would also have velocity. I'm gonna go like that. Boom. Okay. Cool. Now, so we have an X and Y position. Now, okay. So let's think about now we have our variables pretty much, right? So we've got our collision. The collision is gonna happen. So you said so. If ball dot X is equal to let's just make it simple without all the greater stuff, is equal to paddle dot X, then oh, you're right, we need to think about our velocity already. So velocity, I'll just put these as equal for now because we don't know. And velocity. Oh, velocity. Okay. And all of these are variables at this point, we don't know. So, I mean, at this point, so then, as you said, ball dot velocity, oh my god, how can I not spell that word? Velocit is equal to, yeah, all right, is equal to, I'm just gonna go that times by -1. Now, at this point, from that, you'd probably, I mean, oh, here, wait. What else are we missing now? So we've got, I'm gonna give 3 guesses and then I'll give the answer. Out of all this, we pretty much have covered everything that can happen in this game now. I mean, the crazy, you know, what angle it's gonna bounce at and acceleration. I'm gonna, before, you know, the guy who has a university degree, I'll ask you guys. Okay, yeah?
Pretty much the X and Y positions.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, there's nothing. Yeah.
Well, okay, here, okay, you, oh, yeah. Well, yes, yeah, you.
Ball interaction with environment.
Exactly, yes, with the environment. So now, collision, I'm gonna go like this with paddle, call it like that, and with environment. See, because like we don't actually, the thing is we don't actually really need numbers to do any calculations right now because we're just planning out what's actually like. I started with the screen stuff so that we could like actually imagine pixels and stuff. But all right, so let's think about this. What happens when it hits like here-ish? Here, wait, can somebody try and give me a condition? Yeah, how about this? Someone try and give me a condition for when it hits either the top or the bottom. It'll take the same structure of this. If the ball is, you know, I have equals and then is. Actually, let's try and think about what causes a goal. Okay. Why would this? Yeah. Why would? Under what condition would somebody score a point in this game? Yeah.
The ball pretty much hitting the left or like.
Yeah. Exactly. So now we can probably. You know what I'm gonna do is let's just go. Let's go like this then. So if, with the environment, if our ball X value is, would it be equal or would it be like, would it be equal or would it be like,
Well, if it's greater than,
uh-huh,
then the set amount of pixels, right?
Mhm.
Then the right side gets a score, and if it's less, the left side gets a score.
mm-hmm.
Because it's automatically assigned.
Yeah, that's good. That's the condition. Yeah, that's cool. I don't know if I can write that in one line here. Okay, so ball X is I can just I can't type out that logic without having to compile like 3 times. If ball X is greater than our environment, yeah, it's called environment now. What I'll do up here instead is let's go max, we'll call this max left is equal to 0, and we'll go max right is equal to 10 or to 19. Oh my god. I didn't type anything correct. 1920. Yeah, that makes sense. So if ball.x is less than max left, oh, and then now, so we gotta think about paddle. That's right, we gotta paddle basically each paddle. Well, now we're gonna get into inheritance problems because paddle we have to think of our sides. So let's go with player 1, player 2. Okay, and then we got all the player 1 and player 2 need to have is their score is equal to 0 and 0. So then, if ball X is less than max left, so which player 1 dot score is going to be equal to player 1 dot score plus. Oh my, Palyar. Yeah, Palyar. You want to come stand here and take a look at it? No, it's fine. It doesn't matter. I actually gotta go. I gotta go pretty much right now. But check it out. We do one more of these. And max right. Oh, player. That would be a horrible game where player 1 gets points no matter who scores. Okay, so
Yay, point.
Yeah.
I scored on you.
Cool. So really, let's go right here. At this point, I can actually just take, yeah. Okay. I mean, at this point, we kind of, we've sort of substantiated an actual, we'd be able to, if you knew a thing or two about Unity from this, you'd be able, oh, that's okay. Hey. But yeah, I feel like with this, you guys know a fair bit about Java. This makes sense, right? Yeah, well, it should. You guys pretty much wrote it. So, yeah, I mean, that's all I wanted to do with the demo, is sort of take something like Pong and break it down into something real simple. As I said, if you were to take this logic and, write some C# scripts inside of Unity, you would have that game in under an hour. And in fact, if you felt like going to this to this web page, you can play a game that I built that is Pong. Last time I did the demo, I got everybody to just go to that website and play Pong, and then everyone just started downloading Unity, and it wasn't very productive. But well, yeah. But yeah. Anyways, thanks for Yeah, go ahead.
I can write it when you talk to her.
Okay. So, yeah, that's pretty much all I want to talk about. I had fun talking to you guys. Feel like you guys learned anything from this? That's good. That's good. Well, thanks a lot. And, yeah. Guys don't need to clap.
Daniel, they were clapping. Your clap is just too loud.